this is their 3D 4K night vision. Now, I was already suspect when I saw 3D and 4K, but it's a set of binoculars. These are technically night vision illuminators. So traditional night vision is going to take whatever's light is available and it's going to amplify it. But it's basically an infrared flashlight, a super powerful infrared flashlight, and an infrared camera in one, which is going to translate that into something that we can see. So it is going to be a black and white view of the world. I do love a couple things about this. One, comes with a good carrying case, and it comes with a ton of accessories, including a micro SD card. It's going to come with one right away. Different kind of headset mounts. So if you don't want to mount it to a traditional headset, you can just put this over your head and you can walk around like that guy right there. I would not recommend this for driving any vehicles or anything like that. They do have adapters if you do have one of those combat headsets or even just a work helmet or something like that. So they're going to have a lot of different ones, bunch of different kinds of mounting, methods. And then they're going to have screws and a heavy magnet right here for that screw. Now, the unit itself, very light, very compact. The way I used it, I used this neck lanyard. So you just put it around like a set of binoculars. It does start out with a 3x zoom. It is not three-dimensional though. So when it says 3D, naked eye 3D and 4K, is not that. I have to call them out on that. The other thing is when you look at here, when you're setting the PD distance, the pupil distance there between your eyes, and you do that here, it actually twists the image. So you see how the image is like lifting up and turning. So I would rather that it had some other adjustment for the eyes versus this, which is actually pulling it apart. Overall, the UI in it, I'll show you where that boots up in here. So if we look in the top down, you can actually see out of that eyepiece, there's an image. And out of that eyepiece, there is also another image. As some of these ones will actually go to the same screen. This one actually does have a display in each eyepiece. Now that said, if I put my hand over it, nothing on that one, but you can see how when I put my hand over this one side, it changes both. That's because it's not three-dimensional. It is just a single camera on one side and an incredibly powerful infrared illuminator. It has 7 levels of infrared. So this is, again, a flashlight and a camera built in, but you use it like night vision goggles. If you bring up the infrared, you can do that. It has several different modes, from photo taking to video modes. The video says 4K. It's going to be a solid 1080. You'll see here in just a sec. A shoot button and then a bunch of menus. And actually, it's going to be hard because I can't show you the menu system in there, but when you hit the button, you can go through all the menus. You do have to focus it manually. It is not auto-focusing, and the focus ring is on the camera side only, so that takes a little bit of getting used to. I also did mention that it has the micro SD, which I've installed here. So there's a USB connector. It is rechargeable, so it's going to last for several hours. Well, less if you use more light, obviously, output from it. And then there's the micro SD there. So the light that it's outputting is infrared wavelength. You're not going to see this light. That's the point of this kind of device, is it's really, if I'm looking in the backyard at night because I heard something, I don't want to shine a flashlight and let somebody know I'm in a certain window or in a certain place. I can simply just look through these goggles and actually see them, or see the animal, or see whatever. We had a black bear last year in the summer that came through and it was freaking everybody out. But you'll be able to see something with this. So this is from my GoPro. The level of light that my GoPro, which is usually good at night, there's barely any lights on the other side of the valley here. I actually went out and made sure there was almost no light. This is a still photo that it took with the night vision. So when I say night vision, again, we're using an IR illuminator. Now that barn is that black thing you can't see on the right side. My headlights are the only thing visible that night. This was the view through the night vision binoculars. Now, one thing I'll say, because it is casting out light, something real close like that is getting blown out, so you constantly have to be changing the illumination. But this is about a quarter mile away. It is a 3x optical zoom. You can see me adjusting the focus there. So about a quarter mile away, and I'm casting that light. So an incredibly powerful IR spotlight, basically. And then you can tone it down here by changing it down, and you can see up close to you, which is cool. So I tried it in a couple different areas. This is the darkest field I could find, and it's actually illuminating it. This is a street, and when you see me turn it off, you can see how dark that street is. That street is almost pitch black from way down there, is the only optical light. Now I have it on zoom mode. There are levels of zoom with this. Now this is a house that is down the hill there. That light is on its garage. This is what it looks like through that IR illuminator. I'm looking in the windows of the house, which is kind of crazy. And now that's the only visible light was on the barn there. And this is me again looking down the road. And this is completely pitch black. You'll see it when I switch off the illuminator, but I'm looking down the roadway. I would not again drive with this, but you can see how pitch black the area was, and that's the illumination you get from it. So very specific purpose-built use case for this one from GOYOJO. Is it living up to the claims? I hate it when somebody says it's a 4K. If we pull the file up, it's not actually. I think it's 2K resolution at best, and if that, it could be upsampled or whatever. It is not 3840 or 4K resolution. It's definitely not three-dimensional. So again, I try to call people out here if they're not. So it's not doing 3 dimensions on this. It is giving you stereo optic, which is maybe what they were trying to say. So you get to see out of both eyes. It's not a monocle. Let's put it that way. So that's another interesting thing. Where will I use this? Well, one, at the house here, if there's a bump in the night, I know I can walk up and start using these. Now, it doesn't work through glass because of that infrared, basically, spotlight that it has. So you do have to have a window open or an opening here. I also want to use this on my boat. We go boating all the time. We'll stay at a marina at night, or we'll stay out at anchor at night. It has a mount on the top side of it for various helmets, but I would have liked to see a tripod mount on it because I think it would actually benefit from being stabilized in that way. So that is from the GOYOJO company.